You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Thursday night edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I am your host, Graeme Forsyth. This edition of Coffee with Graeme is brought to you by AETI Case Financial Group, Evolve Green, Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, and Toby Hockey. We got a loaded lineup for you guys in tonight's episode in terms of who will be joining the show. Going to be a Pilot-Mound heavy focused episode tonight, as I'll have two players from the academy joining the show, as well as in Seth's Inside Scoop, we talk all Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy. I know that I said that St. James Canucks rookie forward Tyrone Willen will be joining the show. Not sure. I haven't heard any confirmation from Tyrone today, so I might be getting him on next week's edition of the show instead of tonight. Might be getting him on next Tuesday, but we'll have to wait and see. He's supposed to be the second guest running the show, so I'll update you guys after the first interview if Tyrone is coming on tonight's show or not. But to start off tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme, I'm going to be joined by a guest that I love to have on the show, Tony Bertone, Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's hockey head coach. He's going to join the show to talk about the recruitments that the program has made recently, the players that have recruited to the program for next season, as well as talking about the team's past weekend of games against North Dakota State University, the Bison, in Fargo, North Dakota this past weekend, where they picked up two big wins, the first one being 8-1, the second one being a shutout 4-0 win. Also going to talk about what the schedule is going to be looking like leading up to the next set of games that they have, which won't happen until January 14th and 15th. So without further ado, let's run the intro of Coffee with Graeme for this Thursday night edition of the show and bring on the first guest in tonight's episode, Tony Bertone, head coach of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's college hockey team, here on Coffee with Graeme. Joining this edition of Coffee with Graeme first is Tony Bertone, head coach of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's hockey team. Tony, been a while since we've talked. A big weekend for your team last weekend in Fargo, North Dakota against NDSU, the Bison. But how you doing on this Thursday? Great to hear from you and have you on the show once again.
No, been great. It just came from the college. Had another recruit in today for a tour. And got her all signed up. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm a happy cowboy for sure.
Yeah, already getting that 2022-2023 recruitment process going. Talk about who that recruitment is, how the recruitment is gone by bringing in this new girl to the team.
Well, I thought, Graeme, this year I was going to do it a little different. I usually wait little later on, and in January, late December, January. I usually start in January, but this year I came right out of the gate in September, and my head scout there, Ryan in Winnipeg, we came up with a list of recruits that we were interested in, and when we sent letters out to all of them, and we got a good reply, and went to Swift Current for a tournament there in October. So I went there and scouted and got some replies back from those girls too. So we've been just pursuing them, and you know what, the list is getting full, and quite happy. And like I say, I've had 2 this week. Had one girl come in Tuesday for a tour, and then I had a girl in at 2:00 here at the college, and gave her a tour and talked about our program and everything. And so everything's looking real good, really good. I'm happy.
Yeah, great that you're able to get this process rolling so early on, already kind of planning for next season. But in terms of this season, the big weekend last weekend in Fargo, as you guys played North Dakota State University, the Bison, traveling to the States for the first time since the 2019-2020 season for this program. Start off by talking about what the bus ride was like there and back.
Well, you know what? We loaded the bus there at 8:00 Saturday morning at the college, and you could see it in the girls. They were all excited, and we got 16 rookies and 1 vet. So this is the first bus ride for 16 of them. So it was kind of nice. They were excited to start our season. And first road trip. So we headed down to Fargo, and we played NDSU at 7:00 at night. We had a game, and we won 8-1. With a great effort. Both teams played well. It just happened. The bounces went our way, and and we ended up coming on the side of the W, and I'm always happy about that. So, and then we played Saturday morning at 9:30, and we ended up a tighter game, which I told the girls it's going to be it's going to be a tighter game, because now they know who the ACC Cougars are and what they're made up of, and I said they're going to push, and they did. They pushed hard, and then it was only a 4-0 score. So a great game. Both games were good. Good game. Good clean hockey. We never took a penalty in that first game, and that was one of our goals. Is to we got lots of speed. We don't need to take penalties, and that was one of our discussions pre-game. And the girls, they listened well, and they stayed out of the box the whole 60 minutes. So that was great. And then the second game, we got 2 penalties, and that was it. So it's pretty good for girls. Kept control and just played hockey, and like I say, move your feet.
Yeah, for sure. And always nice when you're not able to take any penalties when the girls are so disciplined out there. But talking about the offensive output, especially in that 8-1 win, Simone Turner-Cummer scoring a hat trick, Alicia Simpson scoring 2 goals, and then Corey Fiala, Savannah Doak, and Aiden Roberts getting a goal for themselves each. Talk about how nice it was to see that depth for this team come out, not only having Simone score, not only having Alicia score, but those other 3 as well.
Yeah, and like the whole team, we rely on everybody, and Simone, she's a great captain. She'll lead by example, and when she goes out there and plays her game, the rest of the girls, she's the vet, and she's going to show the way. And like I say, Cora, Aiden, Alicia, Savannah, they all follow along, and and the rest of the team also, and the defense played well. Goaltender, Geneva Penner played exceptionally well, and so did Megan in the second game with a shutout. So like I say, it's a total team effort. But I give kudos to Simone, because you know what, that girl knows how to play, and she and that's why she's wearing the C, and she leads by example, and like I say, those young girls, they look up to her, and they just see, let's just do what Simone's doing. She's working hard every shift, and and driving the net and putting pucks to the net, and that's a winning formula right there. Is just you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that formula.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Having a player like that's been there, done it before in that national championship season, and of course playing in her third year with this team. Definitely a player that's great for these players on the team, the newcomers as well, to look up to her and lean on her for that leadership out there. But talking about both of the wins, only giving up one goal in total throughout the two games. Obviously, the goaltending was very good, but talk about the defensive zone play for this team. How you guys were able to shut them down that way.
Oh, for sure, Graeme. You know what? We got a solid six back there. And there, I'm not. I don't even hesitate. You know what? I just keep them in rotation. I don't even have to worry about what line they're putting out. You know what? Because I got confidence in all six, so it makes my job on the back end easier. Terry Sinkball runs the front end, and I if Tara and Ken Cross aren't around, I look after the back end, and so like I say, Jenna, Callista, Jensen, Mackenzie, Lacey, name them all. Like, you know what? Just tap them on the head and let's go, girls. They all know how to play. You know what? There isn't, your top four, or top two. You know what? Just top six, man. Just it's good. Just tap them on the head and then let them go.
Yeah, sure. So nice when you're able to have that ability to roll just all three pairings throughout the lineup, which is, so nice for you guys. But, talking about throughout the weekend, how these goaltenders for you guys, both Megan Biswitherick and Geneva Penner, you alluded to, they both played great games. Talk about, how far they've come in the season so far, even though there's been, not many games you guys have played so far compared to other years at this part of it.
Yeah, well, with the border, not opening up until just a few weeks ago, we weren't able to travel across, and but the goaltending is, what, those two girls, they work hard in practice, and that's where it all stems from. Our goalie coach Jeff Moore does a fantastic job with them, and we make sure that they get lots of time with the goalie coach. And also, we make sure that our practices are geared around them, that they get the shots, the quality shots that they want, the hard shots, and like I say, Geneva played the first game. A girl got away on us there with a pinch, and she went in on Geneva, and Geneva came to me after, and she says, "Sorry, coach, I made the first move. I didn't wait until she made her move. I got a little anxious there, and I made the first move on her, and I guessed wrong, eh?" And so I says, "Hey, it happens, Geneva. You know what? We just shake it off." And she says, "You're right, coach. I forgot about it already. And that's that's the kind of goaltenders you want, that aren't going to get rattled, and and kudos to her. She admits that she made the mistake, and maybe just a little anxious on it, and she made a move and she guessed wrong, and she should have waited for the player to make a move, and then Megan, just solid in the second game, putting pucks to the corners, not giving up many rebounds, and and I told her, I says, yeah, you decide. I'm not going to tell you when to play a puck, or or when you freeze it and take a face off. I'll leave that up to you. You guys have been around, played the game long enough that you don't need a coach barking at you to freeze it or move it, or you make that decision, and we have, and like I say, they're both two number ones. We don't have a 1 and 2. They're both number ones in my mind, and I've told them both. I have confidence in either one of them. As just when I tell them at practice who's starting, and then they just nod, and you know what, and they know they go get the job done.
Yeah, and so great for you as a coach when you're able to have that confidence in a goalie like Megan to do those things, to make those decisions, when to play the puck, when to stop up. And, you're right, 2 quality goaltenders that you guys were able to recruit for this 2021-2022 season. Talking about looking back at the first part of the season, you guys have had a lot of success so far. Been able to finish off the 2021 portion of the schedule with 2 big wins over NDSU. Talk about, what the biggest takeaways are from your group so far this year after, getting to know what this group is like and what they're able to play like in games.
Well, this is the first group, and I've told them this is the first group that I've had come into a program and, been together before even hockey started. They got together and went out for lunches a couple times and got to know each other, introduced themselves to each other. And, that's the first time I've had a group do that. And they're friends. They study together. They support each other on the bench. You never hear a negative comment out of either the coaching staff or the players. And it's all positive. And they really like each other. And that's a big part of having a solid team, is having a good dressing room. You got to have a good dressing room. A coach has got to be able to walk away and know that dressing room is going to be looked after with the season A's, and make sure that everybody's going to be treated fairly and the same. And and there's not going to be any split dressing rooms with groups. They're all going to be buying into the program and bonding with each other, and they do, and it shows in their play. They love to play for each other, and they listen. They practice hard. We had a practice this morning at 6:30 a.m. and even at 6:30 in the morning, they got some jump, and they want to learn and soak it all in. And usually Thursday morning is our system day, and we go over all our systems on Thursday mornings. And they just been buying in, Graeme. It's a pleasure to coach this group. It really is.
Yeah, that's great to hear that you're able to get that buy-in from this group this season. And I always say, if you have a strong, tight-knit dressing room like this team has, it can take you a long way.
For sure.
Some great results on the ice like you guys have been getting so far. But now that you've had some time, not a lot of games so far, but you've had games to be able to see what works out there. What's it been like, getting to know what lines work, what deep pairings exactly work for this team?
Yeah, you know what, we balanced our lines out, I call them the kid line. Is the third line is a group of young girls the first time at the college, and you know what, they have pleasantly surprised me, and the way they play, and the way they want to learn. They want to learn. Maybe they haven't played at the highest levels, as some of the other girls, but they're eager, and they're wanting to learn, and they're everything is good. I got Remy Buchanan there, and I've got Lisa Bellinger in the middle, and I got Emma Gamanchi on the wing, and all first timers to the college and college hockey, and they're soaking it all up, and they're enjoying themselves, and I'm enjoying watching them play and learn. It's a pleasant surprise. I'm really enjoying it. Great group.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, Tony. And, it's a shame that this group won't be able to play again until the new year because, you guys are hitting your stride. But, I mean, a lot of time before the next games for you guys to get prepared. Going to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario to play Sioux on January 14th and January 15th. Also traveling to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan in the States on January 15th to play against Lake Superior State University, the Lakers team, in a morning game. But just looking at with so much time in between, the games that were played last weekend to, the games that will be played in January, what's going to be the mindset in terms of preparing the scheduling as well as the team meetings for those upcoming games?
Yeah, we've added an alumni game there on January 9th to that schedule. So we're going to have a quick game against some alumni. This will be the second game we're going to play them, and that's fun. Seeing the past girls come back, and it's great to see them, and and you get to have a chat with them, see where they've what they've done with their life and moved on and working and or playing hockey still or whatever. It's great to find out what their their next chapter has been. But our scheduling with Thunder Bay taking another leave of absence for the another year. So now we're forced to go down all the way down to Sault Ste. Marie to get our games in, because we got to play 6 different teams. And we got to get a minimum of 12 games in. So we're going to have 2 games against the Sioux, and then Lake Superior. We're going to go into the States there and play them when we're down there. So we get, we can get our 6 games in, and that's part of this college hockey, the ACHA. We're spread all over, and there's only so many teams close to us here in the West. We got Fargo, we got Botno, we got Duluth and Wisconsin, and we got to go to Sioux to get those games in and play them, and they want to play us because they're in the same boat.
Right.
They got to get their games in. So it'll be. I'm looking forward to it. It's a long bus ride, but we got our plan, our stops planned, and and then we got to make sure we get there and recharge, so the girls get rid of their bus legs and get their energy back. So we're looking forward to it, and seeing Sioux and Lake Superior. They're winning some games down there, so they're going to be one of the better teams to come out of that east pool there. So we're looking to go head to head with them, and and see where we stack up, and then come back on the program here, Graeme, and we'll have a little chat about that bus ride and games down in the Sioux. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
for
no
sure.
doubt. No doubt about it, Tony. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And always nice to be able to have those long bus rides. Get even more bonding time in together. These girls spending even more time with each other. But, like you said, these programs have been winning games that you guys are going to go against both Sioux and Lake Superior. Even though you guys haven't seen them this year, do you kind of have an idea already of how these teams are going to like to play, how you guys are going to prepare in that way to deal with the strengths of how to, and the weaknesses of how to expose these teams?
Well, I mostly concentrate on our game. I bring our game, and our game is is forecheck and speed, and and get pucks in the offensive zone, and then we run a 1-2-2 forecheck, and then goes into a 2-1-2, and then I can't even say how many times we've gone over it and over it in practice, and and I've really seen it come to light in NDSU, with the girls, and I'm watching from the bench, and I'm thinking, wow, look at them shift in the offensive zone, and we had NDSU there hemmed in there for a little bit there in one of the periods, and I was just kind of smiling on the bench and seeing it all come together, and the same thing going to Sioux there. We'll bring our game, and our game is going to be like, it won't change from when we play NDSU. We're gonna get pucks in deep, and we're gonna use our speed and recover pucks, and then get pucks to the net. So.
Well, going to be exciting to see it all unfold for you guys, for the fans that will be in attendance for those games on January 14th and on the 15th against Sioux, as well against the Lake Superior team. Tony Bertone, head coach of the Assiniboine Cougars, Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's college hockey team, joining the show here on this Thursday night. Tony, you take care and have yourself a Merry Christmas too. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Happy holidays to you, Graeme.
New Year. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, same to you, Graeme. All the best.
You take care. You too,
Okay,
Tony.
bud. Take care.
And Tony Bertone, head coach of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's hockey team, joining the show here on this Thursday evening. And of course, they'll be in action next up on January 14th against Sioux College, and then on January 15th at night against Sioux College once again, and playing Lake Superior State University, the Lakers, on January 15th at 10 a.m. And just in terms of the commitment that I didn't get clarification on from Tony, one player that's committed already is Emma Ramsey of the Westman Wildcats for the 2022-2023 season. She plays in the MFHL, of course, for Westman. So congratulations to her on that commitment. And yeah, I know I said in the intro that I might have Tyrone Willen joining the show, but unfortunately he's unable to make it tonight. So gonna have Tyrone on for next Tuesday's edition of Coffee with Graeme. Should be a lot of fun. But it's time to talk about some more female hockey. Joining me next is going to be River Johnston, goaltender for the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy female Buffaloes, U18 prep female Buffaloes, coming on the show to talk about why she chose to bring her talents to Pilot-Mound this season, talking about the team's season this year, her season as well as the team's upcoming game against the Yellowhead Chiefs this weekend. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions, everybody. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Thursday night up until this point. Who joined me first on the show? Well, as you guys just saw, it was Tony Bertone, head coach of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's hockey team. Of course, coming off of a big weekend against the Lake Superior team. Not Lake Superior, sorry. The North Dakota State University Bison winning 8-1 and 4-0. They'll be playing Lake Superior coming up in January on the 15th in the morning at 10 a.m. But yeah, it's time to dive into talking about some Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy hockey now. And going to be joined by goaltender right now in River Johnston, goaltender for the U18 female prep Buffaloes. River joining the show on this Thursday evening. River, so nice to have you on the show. How have you been on this Thursday up until this point?
Oh, pretty good. It's been a good day. We had practice earlier today and it felt really good. So yeah, it's been a really good day so far.
Right on. And, always nice to get a nice day of practice in, right? Getting on the ice with the girls anytime you can. For you guys, getting on the ice every single day. What's that been like? I know that we've talked before. Just tell the viewers what it's been like for you and your experience of having so much time on ice this season when you've been able to be healthy.
Oh, I've been thriving in this environment. I've wanted this kind of thing ever since I was a little kid. So like being able to have 24/7 access to the ice and 24/7 access to the gym, it's really been helping me, and I'm having a great time. Like the people here are great, the coaches here are great, the hockey here is great, and I really love our team, and we're really gelling as of right now. So it's great.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and seems like that's something that the players in the academy, everyone that I talk to, really love. The stuff like getting to have access to the gym 24/7, getting to be on the ice so many times. And you said this is something that you've been wanting for your whole life in your hockey career. Talk about, is that one of the main reasons why you chose Pilot-Mound as that next place to play?
Yeah, it was a big reason actually, but one of the reasons is like when I looked on the website, I saw the promotional video, and one of the things they said in there was, it's like it's a real family here, and to be able to be a part of this family has been one of the best things I've ever been a part of. To have so many people around, like so many people who are similar as me, and who just love hockey just as much as I do. It's really been great. I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, and coming to small town Pilot-Mound, they really do treat their players like family. The staff, the coaches, the teachers. You come from Toronto, Ontario, a big city compared to Pilot-Mound, Manitoba, especially. Talk about what that small town feel has been like for you and your experience so far in your first year in this academy.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been a culture shock. Coming from Toronto, uh, I'm from a pretty populated area, so coming here and it's been very different, but it's been great. I've really enjoyed getting to know everybody in the town, and the fact that somebody who works at the hotel can be your gym teacher, right? Like it's great. It's really cool that everybody knows each other, and like it's like a family feel in the town as well. So like the fact that everybody knows each other is great. I really enjoy it.
Gotta ask you this question. On the website, you're listed as Nicole Johnston, but you go by River. Is there any, reason in particular why River over Nicole? What's the backstory behind that?
Well, River is actually my first name and Nicole's my middle name. But when I was
Mm.
younger, I was bullied at school about the name River because, kids are young and all that. So I decided to go by Nicole for a while. And when I came here, I thought, well, like everybody's mature here, and I'm hoping so. And at the time, and everybody is. And so I thought, like, it would be really good to bring my original name back, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's great that you had that confidence to be able to do that, and they're accepting of it. Just calling you by a name that is your first name, your real name, River. Just talk about how you've grown over the years, just to have that maturity, have that confidence to be able to be comfortable in your own skin by going by your first name. Just using that as an example.
Yeah, well, I always was nervous to say, hey, my name's River, because I had grown up, like, I actually started going by Nicole in grade 4, so I had grown up with the same kids up until grade 11, so nobody really knew River at all. All they knew was Nicole. So like I thought, coming here, like it was kind of a restart in my life, and it was a whole new thing. So I thought may as well, because I found I've been I've been really growing as a person here,
Yeah.
and being able to go by my first name has just it been great. Like I really enjoy it, and
Yeah.
my parents enjoy it as well.
Yeah. For sure. I
Yeah.
bet mom and dad gotta love that and gotta be proud of you that you were able to have that confidence to, make that decision to go by your first name again. And let me tell you, I don't know why the kids would bully you because River, it's a pretty darn cool name, I do gotta say.
Thank you so
That's
much.
pretty unique. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Getting into, the work you've done with goalie coach Gordy Tummelson.
Mhm.
What it's been like getting to work with a goalie coach that has been through the experiences he's been through and playing for the Winnipeg Jets WHL team.
Yeah, well, he is full of knowledge. He's a great coach. I really find that I am improving every time I'm on the ice with him, and he just has so much to share, and he is so good at coming across to me. So I really find that I learn I learned so much, and I've improved like from the day I got here to now. Like I've improved drastically, um, and it's been really great to work with him, and he's just a great guy in general. Like he's so easy to talk to and so nice, and he just made it really easy for me. Like the transition coming here, I was pretty darn nervous, so he made me feel like I was at home. And same with the other goalies. Like we have goalie sessions once a week, and he makes us just feel like a family,
Yeah.
right? So it's like a family within a family, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to clarify one thing. I said WHL. I got WHL on my mind since the draft was today.
Yeah, I bet.
Let's say WHA. He played for the Winnipeg Jets WHA team back in his playing days. But, talking about this group, how you guys have been able to bond and come together as, being able to be yourselves, be a team out there.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the year, everybody was we didn't really know each other at all, which is why we struggled a little bit. Because everybody's coming from everywhere, right? Like we have people from Western Canada all the way to the East Coast, right? So it was difficult getting to know everybody, but once we started to really gel, which has been recently, we've been really showing it on the ice as well. Like the chemistry has been coming along great, and it's very visible. You can see it, and you can see how much we've improved from the beginning of the year to now. And I think that team feel like in the dressing room is the most important thing ever, because you really got to know each other off ice to work well with each other on ice, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. I always say it, having a close dressing room, being able to know each other off the ice and, have respect for each other, I think is something that could bring a team a long way. And nice to know that you guys have become as close as you guys are at this point and have been
mhm.
showing massive improvements as of late. Talking about your game, obviously the numbers they look not so great, but you've shown that you can be a type of goaltender out there that can steal hockey games, that can come up big time for a team. Talk about who River Johnston is as a goaltender and how she's able to go out and perform the way she does.
Yeah, well, I have this mindset where, if one goes in, the next one's going to be stopped, right? So I'm very confident in my ability to stop the puck, and when I'm out there, nothing else matters but the game. So, I think it's great that I have that mindset here, because everybody else does as well, right? So like we're all just so in it. We're so in it together, and yeah,
Yeah, that's great to hear.
yeah.
And like I said, you've been able to come out and have some big games, even stealing some for your team at times. Talk about, over the year, over this season so far, what has really come together in your game for you to be able to be at the point where you are at right now?
Yeah, well, I find I found when I came here, I have my mechanics down pat, but being able to use them correctly in a game, like my hockey sense has gone up a lot since I've been here. I find, yeah, like I've gotten a lot stronger in the gym as well, so it's been really, really good. Like I've seen the big improvement on the ice, like, um, so yeah.
Looking at this team this year, you guys are 4-10 1 tie in tournaments and exhibition, 3-8 in the regular season, 28 goals for, 59 goals against in tournaments and exhibition games, 24 goals for, 50 against in regular season games. But like you said, the group's been gelling a lot more lately and have been getting better results. Talk about, the things that have improved at this point in the season on the ice that, maybe weren't so good as the season was starting off.
Yeah, well, our coach has been teaching us a lot of systems, and defensively we've been improving so much. Like it's tough because like on any team, like we have a few injuries all the time, right? So it's been tough for people to keep up with the stuff that's been being taught and stuff. But like recently I've found that like we've all gotten used to how each other play on the ice, right? So finding each other and communication has been a huge thing that has improved as well. Like my communication, like telling them if there's a man on or how many are coming. I found like the players, you can always hear them talking out there now. At the beginning of the year it was practically silent, so we've really picked that up, and it's been helping us so much.
Yeah, and communication out there on the ice, I feel like that's something that kind of gets forgotten, but it's a really important part of the game to communicate with your players out there. For you as a goaltender, has that been something that you've always found yourself doing, or is it something that you found yourself doing, more this year as kind of a new thing?
Well, usually, yeah, it's been kind of a new thing this year. I mean, it's never really been taught to me that being as a goaltender that you'd have to communicate as much as you do, but now I realize like communication is absolutely everything, like for teams, and to have the goalie helping you out, communicating is just a huge asset to games. So yeah.
This past weekend for the team, you guys started off with a 12-1 loss to Balmoral Hall, but then after that, turned it around with a 3-2 win over one of the best teams in the MFHL, the Manitoba Female Hockey League, over the Yellowhead Chiefs, and then a strong 5-1 win over the Interlake Lightning from the MFHL to end off your guys' weekend. Take me through the past weekend for the team. How nice it was to see the girls turn it around after that blowout loss to Balmoral Hall.
Yeah, well, it definitely was tough in that first game. Balmoral Hall is definitely a very skilled team, and but the next day we came out. It was a new day, a new game, and it was a total roller coaster. Like it was a great game. It was so much fun to play, right? So we had a great period in the first period, and then Yellowhead had a great period in the second period, and then the third period was just pretty much even. So it was a very close game. Yellowhead ended up tying it up with a few minutes left in the third, so that forced overtime and made a few great saves in overtime, which always feels good. And then the shootout was very stressful, but we pulled through, which was great, and it felt so great to win. It was amazing.
Gotta ask you this one. I know goaltenders hate it. Are you in the same boat as you? You hate playing in the shootout? Is that something that you would like to see get taken out of the game?
No, actually, I think it's fun. It's I find I perform really well under pressure. So shootouts are definitely a lot of pressure on goalies and the shooter, right? So I do enjoy it. It's very stressful in the moment, but once I get up there and you see the puck at center ice, and you see it, and it's like, okay, here we go. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, for sure. And you are right. That's one of the most stressful situations for a goaltender, because it's only you and the other player coming down who's going to win that battle. And great to know that you love to thrive under that kind of situation, that pressure. You think that's something that has always been with you, just being able to thrive under pressure, or is that something that you've kind of built up as your career as a goaltender has gone along?
Yeah, well, it's always been that way. I chose to be a goalie because I really enjoy playing under pressure, and being a goalie, like a lot of people look at you during games, right? So, you could be the make or break for your team. And so I've had that for a while. I play softball in the summer too. So I always find, like, if it's a 2-out kind of situation and a couple people on base and you're up to bat, it's like that's where I perform, right? So it's been with me forever, and I find it's amazing because that's definitely a huge skill I do have.
Yeah, and it's something that really can't be taught. It's either you got it or you don't, and it's great to know that you have it, and great for this Buffaloes program this year. But talking about the improvements that you think that we're going to see this team continue to make into the new year, into 2022, for you guys to get to the type of level you guys want to get to as a team.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to keep improving at the exact same way we have been. Like having practices 5 days a week, it's kind of impossible not to improve, right? So it's, I'm really looking forward to the new year and seeing what's up next. We have a showcase in Medicine Hat just the week right after we come back from Christmas. So we get right back into it, and it's great. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that'll be fun for sure. Showcases are always fun. Getting to, be with the team, traveling with the team, always a fun time in any player's hockey, hockey season. But one more question before I let you go here, River. The upcoming game, you guys, this weekend on Saturday, so 2 days from now, against the Yellowhead Chiefs, a rematch of last Saturday's game. They'll definitely be coming out hungry to beat you guys this time around. But how are you guys looking to prepare and come into this matchup against the Yellowhead Chiefs on Saturday?
Oh, we'll definitely be ready. We're gonna come out the exact same way, and I know I will. I'm really pumped about playing that game. And there's a player on our team that was her team in the previous years. So that really drove me to win last Saturday, and it's driving me to win again, because it would be great to beat them once again for her and for us, because we don't want to go out there and make it look like last weekend was a fluke or anything, right? So we're going to go out there and we're going to work hard and hopefully get the outcome we want.
Yeah, for sure. And that player is Haley Honocki. Of course, she had a short stint with that team last season before making that switch over to Pilot-Mound this season. But yeah, definitely best of luck to you and the team this weekend, River, in that game against the Yellowhead Chiefs. Another tough test for the team. So you guys go out and give it your all, and hopefully you guys come out with a victory on Saturday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on tonight. You have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
And River Johnston joining this edition of Coffee with Graeme on this Thursday evening. Looks like we got about 5 viewers right now. I saw 7 was the max at one point. It was, most of the time it was at 6 viewers during that interview with River. So I want to thank you guys for choosing ASTV Productions and watching this edition of Coffee with Graeme on your Thursday night. And we're not done there. We got a lot more content for you guys coming up on this edition of the show. And speaking of Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy coverage, the content continues here on Coffee with Graeme. Coming up next, U15 Buffaloes captain Beau Murray will be joining the show to talk about why he chose to come to Pilot-Mound, as well as playing with the inaugural U15 Buffaloes team, of course, in their first ever season as a program in Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy history, as well as talking about his season, the team's season, as well as the upcoming games they got here for the rest of 2021. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break.
Welcome to Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot-Mound Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
And welcome back to Coffee with Graeme, everybody. Joining me for last time on the show was goaltender for the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy Buffaloes U18 female prep team, River Johnston. Great to be able to talk to her, and awesome that she was able to have that confidence to go back to her first name this year, which is not Nicole, but River. And, great to know that she's thriving in an environment that she's wanted to play in her whole life, and great that she's been able to do that this season with the Buffaloes. But like I said, before I went to commercial break, we're going to keep this Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy train rolling, and what better way to keep it rolling than to be joined by number 12, team captain of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes U15 male prep team, Beau Murray. Beau, great to have you on the show here tonight, man. I'm sure you guys had practice today, as all the teams always practice every single day of the week. How are you doing on this Thursday night, man? Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Had practice this morning, kind of tired, but overall pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of work you guys put in here in the academy, not only being on the ice every single day and playing games on the weekend, sometimes in the week, but also having access to the gym. Just talk about, what your experience has been like with Pilot-Mound so far this season, with all the different options they give you guys to, up your performance level. Can you hear me, Beau?
Yes, a bit fuzzy though.
A bit fuzzy. Okay. What I'm gonna get you to do is I'm gonna get you to rejoin the link I sent you here to join the interview, and we'll get you back on in just a moment here, Beau.
All right, sounds good.
And that is one of the downsides of connecting with players from Pilot-Mound or just coaches. I've connected with Gordy Tummelson many times when he's been out of the city. He lives in Winnipeg, of course, but when he's been out of Winnipeg in the Pilot-Mound area, the connection hasn't been the greatest. So we're going to wait and see if Beau will be able to, rejoin this stream and this broadcast and be able to, do this interview. But he's definitely a player that we're going to get you guys on the show. We're going to get him on the show for you guys to, talk about his season, because this is a guy that, has been a huge part of the Buffalo's success for this U15 team when they have had success this season, of course, with him leading the team in points. We got Beau back in the broadcast studio right now. Beau, how's the connection now? How's the sound coming through on your end?
Yeah, it's way better now.
Okay, right on. Happy that we're able to continue this. I'll ask you the same question again that I asked you before you rejoined the stream, left it. What's that been like for you, getting able to have that enjoyment of not only being on the ice every day, but being able to go in the gym and just play games with this academy this season?
Yeah, I like it a lot. That's one of the reasons I came here, to get on the ice every day, and you get the free gym to work out whenever. Really enjoy that, and do dry land every day. and then just the free skates after school and stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Just so many things that players are able to do in the academy to, continue to develop their skills. Even when you guys aren't practicing, playing games. You're from Campbell River, British Columbia. Talking about what it was like growing up in Campbell River.
Yeah, I don't know. I've really enjoyed it there. It's pretty nice in BC. It's a lot different than here. The hockey's pretty good too, but it wasn't like here. We would get on the ice every day, every morning, and we didn't have like the free access and stuff to the gym and rink.
Yeah, for sure. Where were you playing before in Campbell River?
I was just playing for the Campbell River like AA team, just their home team.
Right on. What's it been like? Campbell River, pretty big compared to Pilot-Mound, Manitoba. What's that been like for you experiencing that small town field that Pilot-Mound, Manitoba offers?
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's not bad. It's definitely for sure different, but it's not. I kind of enjoy being in a small town. You kind of get to know everybody well, and it's pretty good here.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool because the people coming in to watch you guys, are most likely going to be from around Pilot-Mound. It's cool that you guys aren't just a number here. You guys are actually, people recognize who you guys are when you guys are walking. Awesome. Is that a skate sharpener going off right now, Beau?
No, that's the ice machine.
Oh, the ice machine. The ice machine's going off. The ice makers are busy. Or not the ice makers, the ice cube maker is busy.
Yeah.
But you talked about, how much you love being on the ice every day, getting to do all that extra stuff. Talk about, is that the biggest thing that drew you to play in Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy this season is just everything they offer besides the practices and besides the games?
One sec. I'm just gonna go get them to stop using that thing.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds good.
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll have Beau back in just a moment here. Late night, the boys want some ice. They want to make some and maybe have some soda, maybe have some drinks. No shame in that for sure. But yeah, we're just gonna wait for Beau to come back here.
All right, there we go.
All right, there we go, Beau. Thanks for that. That was could have been more of a problem if it kept continuing with just us trying to communicate here. But going back to my question, that was the biggest thing that drew you to the academy was just being on the ice every day, having that opportunity to do all the things that teams that you played on in Campbell River weren't offering.
Yeah, that's the main reason I came here. It sounded like a good program with the school and the ice and everything. And then again, we get tons of games, exhibition and regular season games.
Yeah, for sure. And, talking about it, your season so far, you haven't been in the lineup as much as you probably would have liked to. You've only played 19 total games, but you're leading your team in total points with 26 points in 19 games, 14 goals, 12 assists. Just talk about your ability as a hockey player out there. What makes you the type of player you are out there to have that type of impact you have had on this team this year?
I don't know. I'd like to use my speed as an advantage for sure in my shot. And then definitely use my teammates to move the puck around and get some good chemistry going, and then we can create some good opportunities and goals.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely seen that. We haven't covered you guys as much as the U17 program this year, but from the times that we have covered you guys, when you have been playing in games, those skills have been on display. Something else that, we've noticed as a broadcast crew, me, Seth Rach, and Cody Wall, is just your physicality out there. Talk about, what makes you such a physical player out there? What drives you to, always be laying checks out there on opponents?
Well, just off-ice training, like the strength stuff, it definitely boosts my confidence. And then when we're down but we're down in the game by whatever, it seems like a easier good way to like get the bench going to like lay a big hit, or just get the puck just to take the body away from the guy.
Yeah, and you were named the team captain this year on the team you're wearing the C. What was that moment like? You being able to get the letter and get that recognition of being named as the team captain, being recognized as one of the leaders out there.
It felt good on me. It impacted me well, and when I found that out, I was really glad because I put in lots of effort, lots of hours off ice training, just as much as on ice training. So definitely felt good to me.
We're not going to get into what injuries, what problems you've been dealing with this season when you've been missing games, but just talk about what that's done in terms for you, just missing time in the lineup this year. Just what that's been like for you, because I assume that must be tough, especially on a young hockey player like yourself.
Yeah, it definitely brought me down a bit. It was pretty frustrating missing all the games and having to watch all of them. And then just overall, it was pretty, I don't know, it was just didn't kind of brought me down.
Yeah, and I would totally understand that, right? Like you love playing the game of hockey, like you got a passion for playing the game, and injuries, they're tough. Like it's a tough thing to go through. But what's it been like having your teammates there for you to be in your corner, with you guys being such a tight-knit group?
It was good. It wasn't terrible, but like I still obviously enjoyed watching the team and being there with the boys and stuff. And they were definitely helpful throughout it and like helping me out and stuff.
Talking about it, talking about how this is a brand new program. This is the first ever season, the first ever year that Pilot-Mound is having a U15 program, as it's a new addition to their academy. How cool it is to be a part of the first ever U15 Buffaloes team in Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy history.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely a good program for their first one. It's treated me well, I find. Just coaches and staff, everything's been really good so far. Billet parents,
Yeah,
it's all good.
Talk about that. The billet parents, how the support from them has made things easier. Being away from home must be tough as a young kid. Can you hear me, Beau? Seems like Beau is having some trouble hearing me again. I'm going to kick him from the broadcast right now. I'm going to get Beau to rejoin it. And if it acts up again, unfortunately, we're going to have to end this interview prematurely. Let me just grab my phone here, folks. But coming up, even though Beau might not be able to finish this interview due to the poor connection difficulties, we're going to have Seth Rach joining Seth's Inside Scoop later on in the show to talk about the U17, U18, and U15 Buffaloes first portion of the season in 2021 here. Let me just text Beau to get him on. There he is, Beau Murray. But coming up after Beau Murray is done his interview here on this edition of the show, Seth Rach is going to come on Seth's Inside Scoop to, recap the, talk about the Buffaloes, not recap it, but talk about what he's liked and things that he feels like these teams in Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy need to work on. All three programs, the U15s, U17s, and U18s. The reason we did it a bit different on Seth's Inside Scoop this week, while you guys will have to wait to find out later on in the show, because right now, got to have Beau Murray back here on the show. Beau, can you hear me now, bud?
Yeah, sorry, that was just a connection error there.
Oh, no worries. No worries
Yeah,
at all.
sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I've gotten a lot of those in my life, man. With
Yeah.
just the internet. It's it can be really good sometimes, but sometimes it could give you a lot of issues. But
Yeah,
that's
for
no
sure.
worry at all. Great to have you back on the show here. We'll continue talking about it here. I forget the last question I asked, but the billet parents. Having those billet parents, having that support, having pretty much a second family, a home away from home. How their support has been so far for you guys.
Honestly, they're really good. I've really enjoyed at this house so far. They get us up every morning. They treat us really well, like with really good dinners every night. All that. It's pretty good here.
Yeah. Has there been a favorite meal so far that they've cooked you, or is there many favorite meals that you've had so far?
I don't think I have a favorite yet. I've definitely enjoyed all of them though. They're all really good.
Yeah, give me one of the meals. Maybe I might have to, get the contact info of your billet parents and get the recipe if it's as good as you're talking this food up to be, though.
She definitely makes a really good homemade pizza. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
That's nice. What are the toppings usually?
I mean, she'll do a bunch of different ones. She'll do ham and pineapple, meat lovers,
Yeah,
cheese.
that sounds deadly, Beau. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of ham and pineapple, but I'm a guy who's in that category where I'm a fan of ham and pineapple pizza. Why not spice it up a bit? Put some fruit on the pizza. I feel like it goes with ham especially. But great that you've been able to have that type of care that they've been giving you guys, and just like I said, having a home away from home, which is great, that they've been able to be such positive influences on your guys' lives so far. But talking about the coaching staff now, the coaches you've been able to play for, Kyle Nixon and Danny Carrolls, what it's been like going to work under them every day.
Yeah, they're definitely good coaches. I enjoy practices. I enjoy the power play and stuff they put together. They're on ice and off ice efforts, like Kyle being half the team's teacher, and then Danny sharpening all our skates and stuff. They're definitely good people.
Yeah, Danny does a pretty good job sharpening the skates.
Yeah, he does for sure.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Great to hear. Gotta have those skates tip top shape, right? Gotta have the edges sharp. That's great to hear, Beau. The first day you arrived at the academy, what was that like? Meeting all your teammates who you guys have been able to grow so close together with.
It was a bit nerve-wracking at first, but once I got to know everybody, they're all great people. I like everyone on the team. We're all friends now, but at first it was just getting to know each other. It was pretty nerve-wracking for me anyways.
Yeah, and it's obviously taken some time for you guys to get to know each other, but now you guys have been able to get to know each other, and it seems like you guys are able to be comfortable around each other, especially out there on the ice. The communication seems like it got a lot better throughout the games that we saw, even though we saw about I think only 5 games for you guys, but you could definitely see that improvement throughout those 5 games that we saw here on ASTV. But for the team, no doubt you guys have struggled this year to get in the win column. 4-10 on the regular season, 2-10-1. That last number, that one OT loss that you guys have had in tournaments and exhibition. 39 goals for, 115 against in the regular season, and 35 goals for, 88 goals against in the tournaments and exhibition. Just talk about what's that been like, dealing with not always getting in the win column, losing as many times as you guys have so far this year.
It definitely is tough. It's frustrating, but once you let that cool down, it kind of motivates you to practice harder and then play harder just for the next game, I feel like. But it is pretty frustrating after the game, especially after those close ones.
Yeah, and you guys have had a lot of close ones this season, some close wins, but some close losses in there for sure. And I asked your two teammates, Carson and Gage, about this on the Prospect Show on Monday night about the resiliency. I'm going to ask you the same question. How huge it is to be resilient after maybe you get blown out 10-0 one game, and then to come back and make it a close one and even win sometimes. How huge that quality is to have in the team.
Yeah, no, it is definitely pretty good. It's pretty big for us too. It shows like maybe the first game we didn't play the best, but we still looked at the positives and worked on the negatives for the next game and definitely played better and improved on what we needed to.
You guys, when we've seen you out there, it's a team with speed. It's a team that's not afraid to get physical. Are those some of the things that you feel like this team, in your opinion, has done really well at this season, is just showcasing skills like that? Or is there some other things that you'd add on to that list as well?
We are a fast and physical team. We do play like that, and I think that's it's pretty good for us so far. It's could work on some other things. Like sometimes we are a bit too physical, or maybe a bit like not clean hits here and there. Like our hands are a bit higher or whatever, getting penalties. But other than that, I feel like it's definitely a stronger part of our game.
Yeah, and you're a player with a lot of speed out there, Beau. At one point in the season, the last time that we covered you guys, I'm not sure if it's like this anymore, but you were playing with Liam Chartrand and Liam Tatuni. If you are still playing with those guys, or no matter who you are playing with, just talk about how you and your line mates are able to, be able to gel the way you guys are out there.
Yeah, we gelled together pretty well. It's different now though. It's me, Liam Chartrand, and Adam Kelly. That's a new line now
Right.
with Adam on right wing and Liam on left wing.
Yeah, nice. What's that like, being in the middle of those two, centering both Liam and Kelly, or Adam?
Yeah, I enjoy those two players. I like playing with them. They're both a year younger, but they have some speed, and I can give them the puck, and they can definitely. They're both really skilled players. I enjoy playing with.
And that's great that, by the way, that you're able to enjoy playing with those line mates. Definitely a line that could do some damage out there as well with just the skill sets that you guys show. Talking about the things that you think this team has struggled at the most this season, would you say there's one certain area you guys are struggling with right now, or is it just some multiple things out there, a few things in particular?
I think one thing we could definitely work on is passing, getting the puck on each other's stick for sure, and not turning it over to the other team.
Yeah, you think that just comes with just having more repetition and passing in practice, or does that just come from having more of a feel for each other out there on the ice?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Maybe some focus too, but yeah, definitely in practice it's one thing we should work on. I think personally, but it has definitely gotten better since the start of the year for sure.
You guys are going to be done your 2021 portion of the schedule of this season very soon here. When the new year hits, what's going to be a focus for this team to, show some improvement in terms of trying to get more consistent efforts out there, more wins in the win column this season?
Oh, we should definitely yeah, definitely focus on like after Christmas break, it'll be a good break, and then get back into it and definitely work on our passing for sure. And then other than that, should it should come along a bit better.
Yeah, and just going to continue coming with time for this group. You guys just met each other in September, and it's December now, but that's still not that much time for a young group, a young team to a team that hasn't played together a day in their lives before this season to gel. And you guys, just the more practice, the more repetition you guys will have together, definitely going to see some of those things improve a bit, I'd feel like. But for you personally, what's one thing that's going to be your goal here to continue, developing in this 2021-2022 season once the new year hits?
I wanna definitely maybe work on my maybe, I don't know, just definitely get faster, stronger, just get better as a player overall. Maybe focus more on playmaking and burying pucks in front of the net.
Right. Yeah. Continue to work on those little things, right? You got a lot of good skills in your tool bag. Just continue to work at them, and more of that production, more of those good things will come to you, Beau. Coming up for you guys, of course, the game this Sunday. I did see on Twitter, on social media, that it is canceled against Central Plains. So you guys are going to have the weekend off. What's going to be the focus this weekend for you boys? Having some some more downtime again, just retooling before the big showcase coming up to end your 2021 portion of the schedule.
Yeah, it definitely would have been nice to have that game because we didn't play last weekend, and then have that game to get us ready for the showcase. But we got to practice on Saturday, and then Sunday we got the day off. Maybe just regroup, have a nice, chill, fun day off, and then get straight back to it on Monday with practice and dry land, and have a good week to go into the showcase.
Yeah, right on. I assume that you're going to be playing in the showcase. You'll be in the lineup.
Yeah.
Right on. And the showcase coming up in Caronport, Saskatchewan, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that going to be like for you guys to be able to go out and play that type of competition, looking to, build some confidence heading into the new year, looking to, build some good habits heading into 2022?
I think it'll definitely be good for us to hopefully get some wins out of it, but we're playing some teams we could definitely have some good competition with and pull some wins from, but I think it'll be a fun way to end the 2021 off and start the new year.
Yeah, for sure, Beau. Well, you guys got this weekend off. Of course, still getting work, having some practice. Gonna get, some even more practice next week coming up for sure. Leading into that showcase to end off your guys' 2021 portion of this 2021-2022 season. When you guys travel to Caronport, Saskatchewan. Beau, thanks for taking the time, man, and joining Coffee with Graeme on this Thursday evening. You have a wonderful rest of your night and get some rest too. Hey, after the long day of practice and, school that you had.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Graeme. Have a good night too.
You too, Beau. Take care, man.
All right. See ya.
And Beau Murray joining the show here on this Thursday evening. Great kid to talk to here on Coffee with Graeme, and just awesome to have these players on from Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy to talk about the great experience that they're having. Of course, all three teams not having the results they want this season, but these teams they're all kind of playing together for the first time this season. Not really many returning players throughout the U18 and U17 program. And for this U15 team, like, these are players that have never played a day in their lives together before. And just great to see that these players, no matter how much struggles that is happening out there for their teams, they're still able to keep their head up high and be able to come out strong and continue to battle and have a high morale in the dressing room as well, not getting down on themselves. But coming up after this next commercial break here on ASTV Productions, I'm going to be joined by the main man himself, Seth Rach, on his edition, on this week's edition of his segment, Seth's Inside Scoop. Seth will be joining the show this week to talk about Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, their 2021 portion of the schedule. All three teams in the academy, the U15s, U17s, and U18s. And the reason we're doing that this week is, well, you guys will hear it in the interview coming up. I'm going to explain myself in there for sure. So, of why we're doing Seth's Inside Scoop the way we are this week coming up. So, yeah, coming up next, Seth Rach joins his segment, Seth's Inside Scoop, here on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break. And it's this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme. Joining me, of course, as always, is the man of the segment, Seth Rach. Seth, like in the background this week, man, Kyle Connor jersey or Mark Scheifele jersey, and that's Tavares New York Islanders jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yes, and it's one of their more rare jerseys to find. It's I think they had that as an alternate jersey for like a year or two, and then they just scrapped it because it is pretty ugly looking. But when I saw it on eBay for like $20, I thought I just had to nap it up there.
Yeah, why not add it to the jersey collection, which you have so many of, so many different teams, so many jerseys that you have. It's just awesome to see the different jerseys you have here on the show, in the past 2 weeks, Seth, in tonight's edition of the segment. Of course, we're doing it a bit differently. Of course, no games are going to be broadcasted on the network this week, not due to any technical difficulties or anything like that, just because we plain and simply don't have any games that are scheduled on the schedule to broadcast. But talking about something tonight that I know you're excited about, the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy's 2021 portion of the season, a year review, let's call it that. The year of Pilot-Mound in 2021, starting off with the U15s, in the regular season, 4-10, exhibition and tournaments game 2-10-1, that one being an OT loss. But this is a team that struggled, putting it plain and simply, this season, but also a team that has their first season ever in the program's history this year. Talk about, what has impressed you the most from, the good things that we have seen from the U15s this season.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with this U15 team. We've covered a few of their games, and I thought, they play a very similar style to the U17 male team because, it's just kind of a similar situation they both got going on for both teams. But it's just they're a lot different. This team is a lot, more speed. Their game's a lot more based off their speed, where Pilot-Mound's based off their where the U17s are based off of their forecheck and their defensive ability and their, physical play. This other Pilot-Mound team I've noticed has a lot of speed, and they like to use their skill sets a little bit more than than U17s. And it's been a really, interesting year for them. Probably don't have as many wins as they'd like, but they definitely do have some skill there. And for the future, they definitely got some good pieces to build off of.
Yeah. And I feel like the record, has been, not deceiving at times, but doesn't tell the whole story about this team. I feel like, they got some really good pieces on this team, like a guy like Beau Murray, who has been battling injuries this season, being out of the lineup. Would like to get him back in there consistently. You'd have to think for the new year, especially. But you got strong guys like Carson Carroll's, Gage Sutherland on the back end, and their goaltendings look solid at times, even though the numbers don't indicate that. But, numbers a bit deceiving in that way. But, talking about the offense for this team, talking about what you really like about this Buffalo's U15 offense from what we've seen.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what I kind of mentioned before. I really like the speed that this team has had, and they play with an edge. I noticed a lot of physicality in the few games that we have covered for them. It's been both teams are just running at each other, so it's definitely the younger league, maybe a little bit more speed, a little bit more anger in them flowing through them, and all they're out there on the ice trying to get at the other teams there, but. Yeah, it's definitely their forwards have had a lot of speed this year, and guys like Beau Murray and just the Carson Carrolls and some of their other players have been fantastic for them when it comes to putting up points, and just a lot of good pieces for the future that this team should be very excited for.
Yeah, and also a team that likes to get physical out there. We've seen it from a guy like Beau Murray, a guy like Liam Tatuni, and Liam Chartrand as well. Those three playing on a line at one point in the season when we did last time see them, Seth. But going over to the defensive side of the game for the Buffaloes, of course, 115 goals against in the regular season, 88 goals against in the tournament and exhibition games as well. They got some really good players on that team, of course, two essential players on that D-core being a guy like Carson Carrolls and a guy like Gage Sutherland, both wearing A's for the team, both being laters. But talk about, what you've noticed from this defense this year from the Buffaloes in the games that we've both covered and, just from the stat sheet that's been shown up there as well.
Yeah, this is a very, very good defensive core, I believe. And, like those two guys you mentioned, Carson Carrolls and Gage Sutherland, those guys are some of the top point getters on their team. So you can see how well they are able to provide offense in the offensive zone and really, help out with the power play. Because if you can have two defensemen that can put up a lot of numbers on the power play, it's only going to help your numbers back there. And these guys also can get it done in their own zone, They probably don't have the goals against that they would like to. It's probably not in the area that they would like to, but it's going to get better with time. As the years go on, this team is going to develop some strategies defensively, and it's going to get better. And they've already shown a lot of better numbers than they have. At the start of the year, they were, probably wasn't goals were going a little bit more goals were going in and stuff that they just don't necessarily like happening to them. And now things are starting to get a little bit better. They're starting to get used to each other's their teammates, and the defense is starting to get a lot stronger.
Yeah, and we always got to remember, in my opinion, that this is a brand new program, this U15 program.
Yeah.
Their inaugural season. So all of these guys haven't played together in their lives, and yes, we are into December now, but it takes time for teams to find chemistry. It's not always going to be that instant chemistry. And like you said, the numbers have been getting better as the season has gone along. Obviously, not the best numbers shown out there, like 115 goals against, 88 goals against in tournaments and exhibition games, those 115 coming in the regular season. But, one thing that I feel like is something that I'm interested to hear about from you, Seth, is the special teams. Your thoughts on both the power play and the penalty kill for this Buffalo's U15 team.
Yeah, I'll start with their power play. This is a team with quite a few offensive guns. We see, just by looking at their stats here, they've got quite a few guys that can put the pucks in the back of the net or can generate a lot of offense with assists and good passing and just good shot generation or shot totals in general. And yeah, this is a team that can be very deadly on the power play. You got to make sure you're watching all players out there. Had a little bit of a voice crack there, but yeah, it's just this is a team that can really put pucks in the back of the net on the power play, and that's what you want to do. A guy like Beau Murray, one of the players to watch when you're paying attention to this U15 league. He's definitely one of the guys better offensive players in the league. So when you got one of those guys on your power play, it's only going to help out. And yeah, whether it's the defenseman we mentioned before, like Carson Carrolls or Gage Sutherland, it's just weapons that they got on the power play that's only going to help them generate goals.
Yeah, and for sure, definitely some skilled players on that team that they can use on the power play, like Gage Sutherland, Carson Carrolls, and Beau Murray, like you mentioned, along with some other players as well. But talking about that penalty kill now, Seth, for the team.
Yeah, the penalty kill, it's I don't think it's it's probably has you see all the goals against for this U15 team, and it definitely isn't where they would like it to be, but the numbers have been improving as far as goals against go, and I think that a part of that is because their penalty kills also been getting a little bit better as the years gone on. Like you said, it takes a while, especially since this is a new team. This is a brand new U15 team, and these guys have never played with each other. So, at the start of the year, it's going to be hard to get that chemistry. And when it comes to penalty killing, chemistry is like arguably one of the main things. You got to know where your guys are out there just so you can take up as much space as possible on the PK, try to keep things to the outside. And, as the year's been going on, they've been getting a lot better at that, being able to get pucks out easier, being more aggressive on the penalty kill as well has only helped them out a lot as well. And, as the year's getting on, their penalty kill is getting better and their power play is getting better. And the whole team in general is getting better as they start to begin to know each other more.
Yeah, and of course they'll have a chance to, see where they're at the end of this year. Next weekend in a showcase, they'll be traveling to Calgary. No, they'll be traveling to Saskatchewan. The U17s are traveling to Calgary this weekend, but for the U15s, a showcase coming up for them, not this weekend, but next weekend in Cairnport, Saskatchewan. Seth, talking about their goaltending now, Pete Moreau and Keane Reed, definitely goaltenders that, just looking at the stats, they're not the greatest, but also a bit deceiving at times because these are two goaltenders that can really play out there.
Yeah, definitely. And, I 100% agree with you on that. The numbers are not indicative of how good these goaltenders actually are. Because if you look at their stat sheets, in 15 games for Keane Reed, he has 533 shots against. That is absolutely insane. That guy, and for Pete Moreau, he has 17 games played and 529 shots against. So these are goaltenders that can stop pucks, and save percentage and goals against average are definitely not where they would like them to be. But if I got to say anything to these two goalies, it's don't worry about those statistics because you guys have been playing excellent for your teams, and I'm sure your forwards and defenders are very proud of you for how well you've been playing this year and how well you guys have been able to really, show some resiliency in your game.
Yeah, and resiliency against that average of shots per game. You said, 533 shots against so far against Keane Reed this season? Was that?
Yeah, and it was only in 15 games as well. So
yeah, so that's an average. Sure. That's an average of 35.5 shots against per game. Like that's the average. That's insane, and I'm sure Pete's is also insane as well. But yeah, like you said, these two goalies need continue to be resilient, continue to keep their heads up out there because they do have that talent. We have seen it showcased at times this season, even though the goals against haven't looked the best on the scoreboard at times, right? But last thing before we go to commercial break here, Seth, the improvements that you think that we will see as the season goes along for this team, where do you think is the biggest area that they'll improve in 2022?
Yeah, I think I got to go and say, overall team defense. We look at the shot totals that the goaltenders have faced. We look at the goals against category, definitely not where the team would like, but where we have mentioned it is getting better, which it is getting better. But, I think it's that area, you just got to be a little bit more, defensive reliable in your own zone, making sure guys can't, make power moves in towards your goaltender, really make sure you can get in front of pucks, block shots if you can. Try not to get too in front of the goalie. You don't want to screen them and get some goals against. But, just overall team defense is something I think there's their one improvement I think they need to work on.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely agree with that because if they do get some better team defense, maybe those goals for will go up for the team as well because, you can't have good offense without good defense out there. The old saying goes, Seth. So we're going to throw to a commercial break here, Seth. Coming up after this commercial break, I'm going to be talking to you while you break down the U17's 2021 portion of the season, the U17 Male Prep Buffaloes from Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy. You're watching this edition of Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme with Seth Rach. Stick around for more coverage on Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy after this commercial break. to Seth's inside scoop here on Coffee with Graeme. And Seth, I am noticing that compared to you in the screen, I'm looking like a monster right now. That's because I'm closer to my screen than you are. That's funny. That's never happened before because I usually have it laid out differently here with my background, of course, using a green screen now, Seth, which is pretty, I've enjoyed that pretty quite a bit. That's the word I was looking for. Enjoyed it. But welcome back to Seth's segment, Seth's Inside Scoop here on Coffee with Graeme. Seth started off by breaking down the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy Buffalo's U15 program. Of course, this is a Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy special with us not having any games to cover on the network this weekend. So we thought, why not have Seth break down the Buffalo's season, since we won't be seeing them again on the network until 2022 hits. But Seth talked about the U17s in the first part of this segment. Let's talk about the U17s now. Of course, so far this season, the U17s have played 15 regular season games. They are 2-13 in those games. And in tournaments and exhibition, they fared a bit better so far. Actually, a lot better. I'd say 5-6, and they have 2 ties in those games as well. Starting off, what has impressed you the most about this Buffaloes team throughout the season that we've covered them, as that has been the team that we've covered the most here so far on the network this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, that are there to impress. Like the fact that they're, this, we've already talked about this once today, and it's for the goaltenders in the U15 team. But a lot of what is really surprised me this year with this team is they're as a whole, their resiliency has been great. They've lost some games that I'm sure they would like to have back, and they've also beaten some teams that are quite higher than them in the standings and have kind of upset them. And, I think that's due to how well they play on the forecheck and how well they are able to defend at times in their own zone. There's been times where their defending has kind of not been where they would like it to, but there's also been times where, it's been impossible for the other teams to generate offense and really get pucks to the middle and really get them into high danger scoring areas. And that's one thing this team does well. It's defend well and play hard on the forecheck. And those are some things that have really surprised me, as well as their resiliency.
Yeah, and for the U17s, this is a program that's not new in the academy. This U17 team has been around, I think, since the academy has started, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. But in terms of the roster this year, it's completely different from that championship season they had from 2019-2020. They're also playing in a tougher division this year. I know you've spoken about it a lot off air to me and Cody, but do you feel like that's been probably the biggest reason that they've struggled in the regular season so far? It's because of just the level of competition that they've had to face on a consistent basis.
Yeah, definitely. And it's it's a bit unfortunate for them, taking a big step up with a team that they don't know each other. At the start of the year, a lot of these guys probably didn't know who each other were, and it's pretty tough to step into this kind of environment when you're going up against a lot of teams that have a really, really, we've seen teams like the Edge Hockey Academy, Notre Dame from last week, they can run all 3 lines with tremendous amounts of speed. And it's been tough to match up against that. And it's, you can't really blame this team. They're in a new division. Most of the teammates don't know each other. Well, at the start of the year, they're all, I'm sure, good buddies now, but it's tough to step into an environment like that, especially in a sport like this where it's so physical, it's so close, so much speed, so much skill. It's hard. And as far as them being able to really show, I think they've done an all right job. Obviously, their record isn't where they would like it to be, but you don't really. It's tough for them in this kind of division, and they've played well against some very good teams, and that just shows you that the depth and overall team morale is pretty high. If they can come back at these teams that have beaten them in the past, really break a closer game, and it's just a testament to their team morale.
Yeah, for sure, definitely, and something that I feel like has been kind of a theme around the academy this year has been resiliency. Just being resilient being resilient even when you're down in games, being able to show that you can fight back and come back in games at some points and at least make it close. Just how much of a benefit has that been for this team? Just hearing the stories of how close they've been able to come together in the room and bond with each other.
Oh, it's great. You love to see it. Every day we're setting up. When we're setting up our broadcast area, you see the guys walk by and they're always smiling. They're always having fun with each other, and it's really nice to see. Some teams that have struggled, they're definitely not. The morale in the room isn't that high, and that's to be expected with a team that isn't necessarily playing the kind of hockey that they like to be playing. But this team has done excellent as far as interaction goes. You hear them, actively on the bench, cheering whenever they score a goal. A big hit happens and their bench goes crazy. And it's, when you're covering the game and you're so close to that, it's such a interesting environment to be in. And it's just a really awesome thing to see from a team like this.
Yeah, no doubt about it, for sure. Just to be able to stay positive, even though this team has struggled and gone blown out many times this year, definitely been nice to see that. But, looking at tournaments and exhibition games in terms of the team's offense, 43 goals for. In terms of regular season, not as much, 27 goals for. Talk about this team's offense in general, what you've liked the most about them so far this season. For this Buffaloes U17 team.
Yeah, one thing I like is, obviously they have their top point getters, like guys like Jack Smith, Sam Takahashi, Laz Constant. These are guys that put up a lot of points, but I really have been impressed with some of their depth pieces, guys that may not have as many points as they'd like to, but they play a game that's physical. They play a game that's hard-nosed. They're hard on the attack. They're hard on their forecheck. They play hard in the defensive zone. These are guys that are willing to make the sacrifice plays and really willing to do anything to help their team, find the success. And they have found some success this season. And I think it's been a big part to their depth, interacting with their high scoring talent, may not be the depth scoring that they would like as much, but it's been a very good depth all around performance from the team this year, I believe.
Yeah, and obviously this is a team that I think we can say this safely, that even though they do have top players like Laz Constant, Jack Smith, and Sam Takahashi out there, this isn't a team that relies on only one player to score, because they just can't simply do that. But looking at it, we saw Jordan Kustermans go down this past weekend with a nasty looking injury last Friday night. Of course, they already had Jack Smith and Izzy Amy out of the lineup, Matthew Floyd as well. Just talk about how nice it is for them to only have one more game, or one more weekend of games coming up in Calgary this week, even though it's going to be tough going against a team like the Edge. And I forget who the other team is off the top of my head. I'll get that for you guys after this segment. But how nice it is that this 2021 is coming to an end for them, so they can get healthy and get ready to get it going again in the new year.
Oh, it's so beneficial for them. And I think, I'm sure the players on the team are looking like, okay, we just get through the weekend. And then once we get through the weekend, we can, go through a nice break, celebrate Christmas, have a good time, interact with family, interact with some friends, just kind of step away from hockey for a little bit and then come back into the new year ready and poised and really looking forward to get back to the game. And I think that's exactly what the players need, just to get some rest and get some good Christmas food and presents. And really just get that nice food in your belly before getting back to the season.
Yeah, have some time to recover, open up some presents, spend time with family if they're able to, and, be able to get some nice food in their belly. Like you said, Seth, for sure, going to be awesome for them to be able to do that. But talking about this team's defense, 44 goals against in tournaments and exhibition games, 90 against in regular season action. This defense has some players that can definitely play. Guys like Keegan Leach and Maddox Derianka, Riel Chartrand has really been making strides in his game. But overall, where you think has been the downside of this team's game on the defensive side of things with their defense?
Yeah, and one thing about this team is I actually really do like their defense. I think they are really good. They're good at defending. I think most of the goals from other teams come is once they get hemmed in a little bit, they start to get tired. And once you get tired, you start to lose your man. Some guys will get more open, and it's tough, and you'll get tired out there. And that's when most of the teams get their goals against this Pilot-Mound team, and it's tough. But when they are defending and they are, well, and they have the energy still, and they're not getting hemmed in all the time. They're a very good defensive core. They've got guys back there that can really get pucks. So, we talk about Keegan Leach lots when we're covering the team during games. He's a guy that, he is their top defender on the power play. He's the guy that will always quarterback because of how well he can hold the line. He's a guy that has, I think, for a smaller guy out there, he has an excellent physicality in his game. He's able to knock a few guys down and deceive them with his physicality, and he's great in his own zone. And guys like Beau Bannerman as well. A really big guy who can defend well in his own zone. It's not just one guy back there. It's the whole team. It's the whole defense core. I think is really good and has been quite underrated for them this year.
Yeah, and I feel like some of their defensive breakdowns also come from just overall team play as well, just as an overall unit there too. We saw it last weekend against Notre Dame when this team wasn't as assignment sound as we've seen them in games, and against a team like Notre Dame, it costed them seeing guys go into those high quality scoring areas like in the high slot close to them, and they made them pay. But talking about the special teams, starting off with the power play for this team, something that's looked decent this year for the Buffaloes at times.
Yeah, and I think lately it's been getting a lot better. We, a few weeks ago against the Eagles, they, the first game they weren't able to find as much success, but in that second game their power play started to light it up, and I think their power play, even last weekend again in some of those blowout games, when they got their power play, they were able to move the puck well and able to get a few shots against that really good Notre Dame team, against that really good penalty kill that Notre Dame team has. And they're getting better, and their power play has just been excellent. They've moved the puck well on their power play. They're able to get shots, get open man, and they got two solid power play lines that they can roll, that they can count on for guys to put up points. And I think, it's been great. It's been great for them, especially as of late.
Yeah, and definitely nice to see that they were able to figure it out against that Eagles team on the power play 2 weekends ago compared to that first matchup they had against them in that weekend. Looked way better in the second game for sure for the Buffaloes. On the other side of special teams, the penalty kill for the Buffaloes, what your thoughts have been on the penalty kill so far for this team this year?
Yeah, this penalty kill at times has looked very good. They've been able to get the pucks first almost a lot. So they've been able to, clear pucks and be very aggressive on the penalty kill and just do an overall good, solid job. And other times, they have struggled a little bit, but it's tough. Penalty killing is tough, especially in this league. We've seen some of the top teams in their division or in their league play against them and have power plays and how fast they are and how excellent they are at shooting the pucks and creating space and getting pucks to the middle. And it's just been tough, but I think their penalty kill has definitely been improving as the year has gone on, and that it comes back to them being a new team, new faces, and then throughout the year being able to get to memorize each other, become friends, really grow that chemistry and the overall morale. And I think a big piece of that chemistry, they're developing that chemistry has been shown success in the penalty kill. Once you get more familiar with your teammates, I believe it's honestly easier to do those things like power play and penalty kills. So I think it definitely has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have seen that it has gotten better, and they've gone up against, like you said, some really good power plays that have made that penalty kill look kind of poor at times, but that's just credit to, just how good these teams have been with the man advantage out there in the league in the season, like a team like Notre Dame. But talking about the goaltending now for this Buffalo's U17 team now, Seth. Of course, Kean Hodgins has been out with injury or out of the lineup. I'm not too sure what's going on with him. But, he's been out of the lineup, so we've seen a lot of Miles Gordon, and we've seen Cameron Perrier too at times this season as well. Talk about, this goaltending. All three of these goaltenders for the Buffalo's U17 team, what you've been impressed with them so far this year.
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with the goaltending this year. These guys have faced a lot of shots as well, just like the U15 goaltenders. And, the past few games we've been getting to watch a lot of Miles Gordon play. And, those victories against him last weekend, not what he would like, I'm sure, but I don't think he should hold his head down because he's played excellent. All these goaltenders have played great, considering, the shots against. They're able to cover angles well. They're able to make good reads, and they're able to stop pucks. And that's the main thing if you're a goalie, stop pucks. And it's been a lot. It's been tough for them. It's been tough for the goaltenders this year due to how many shots they've been facing. But I think they've been excellent, and I think during the games especially, we'll note how well the goaltenders have been playing multiple times because, the score might be, 7-1 like it was last weekend in that second game. But we'll look at this amount of saves Miles Gordon has, and it's like, wow, he's had an excellent game. So, yeah, definitely I think these goaltenders have played well, and they've, I think they're a bit underrated as well.
Yeah, for sure. And going to be excited to see when Kean Hodgins comes back to see him playing again because I've been impressed with his game this year. I know you have been as well, Seth. And yeah, these goaltenders have shown at times that they have been able to make a lot of saves out there, as we have seen the amount of shots they've faced this season. But talking about one more thing about the U17s and then going to a commercial break for the final time here in your segment, Seth, the improvements you think that we will see as this season goes along into 2022 coming up for the Buffaloes?
Yeah, I think their power play. Honestly, their power play has been it's steadily gotten better and better and better throughout the whole year, and they're starting to really move pucks well, and they've been able to get a lot more shots, get a lot more zone time on the power play, and I think it's gotten very, very good over the last few months, and I think it's only going to get better as these teams start to familiarize themselves with each other as they get a little bit older and start to develop in the system a little bit more. But yeah, definitely the power play is at least my number one thing for their has improved the most since the start of the year.
Well, we'll have to see how that power play improves in the new year when we cover this team next. Of course, they'll be off to Alberta and Calgary this week to battle the Edge and another team. I'm pretty sure it's International Hockey Academy, but I'm going to have to check up on that, Seth. Coming up after this next commercial break, this final commercial break of Seth's segment, Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme, we're going to talk about the female team in the academy for the Buffaloes, the U18 Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, U18 Female Prep Buffaloes, coming up here on Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme. Welcome back to Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme. So far, it's been all Buffaloes talk since it is our Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy exclusive edition of Seth's Inside Scoop here on Coffee with Graeme. Been talking about all going to be talking about all three teams, of course, talking about the final one here coming up, the U18 female prep Buffaloes, Seth, for Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy. A team that we haven't seen very much here on the network, a team that when we have seen has struggled though this season. In tournaments and exhibition, they're 4-10 and have one tie as well. And they're 3-8 in the regular season. Talking about, where you think have been the biggest issues for this female team this season to struggle like they have.
Yeah, I think it's just been, I think it's got to be team defense a little bit. It's been tough. They've been put into a very tough division with a lot of good teams, and it's like kind of the same situation I think as the other two Pilot-Mound teams. It's been tough to kind of get to know your new teammates, and it's been tough to kind of develop those relationships that you would if you would have more time. And I think definitely team defense I think it has been improving. But that's that's expected, and that's good for them that they're being able to improve team defense a little bit. But I think it's been a struggle for all three of these teams, I think, and I think it's been the same. It's been the same with this female team, and I think things are only going to get better once you start to develop more in the system.
Yeah, and speaking of just team defense as of late, they've gotten a lot better at limiting the shots in games. One big issue has been their ability to generate offense this year, Seth. Talk about the offense from this team, some stuff you've liked and some stuff that you feel like, has struggled, falling flat for them this year.
Yeah. Offense has been has been a big struggle for them as well. But they do got some players. They got some players here that could put up some points. And one of those players, Morgan Satie, she has 16 goals in 26 games, which is very impressive. Pretty impressive goal total there with 25 points total. She's one of their marquee players. They rely on her to put pucks in the back of net. Generate some offense, as well as players like Haley Honaki and Katie Lacrosse and Olivia Playford even as well. So these are players that they rely on to put pucks in the back of the net, and they have been doing a solid job. But I think it's just been tough. Their depth hasn't been able to score as many goals as I think they would have liked to, and I think they're just got to be working on that for the future. That's one thing I think all things get better with time, and I think this team will definitely get better as far when they develop more in the system, which is kind of what this whole thing has been about so far today.
Yeah, and they had a really successful weekend in terms of just getting wins this past weekend against the Yellowhead Chiefs as well as against the Interlake Lightning. Can't remember the scores off the top of my head, but talking to Gordy, he said it was a good feeling around the team after that weekend. But talking about this team's defense, only 59 goals against, 50 goals against in the regular season, 59 goals against in tournaments and exhibition. In terms of their goals for, 28 goals for in tournaments and exhibition, regular season, 24 goals for, but the defense, 59 goals against in tournaments and exhibition, regular season, as mentioned, 50 goals against. Talk about, what you've noticed from this defense so far this season for the Buffaloes in terms of their strengths and their weaknesses as well.
Yeah, I think I was definitely wrong on what I said at first when we first started this. I think I'm starting to get a better look at it. I think their defense has actually probably been one of their stronger suits, being able to limit goals against at least more than some of the other Pilot-Mound teams. But their defense has been actually pretty solid. I'm going to take that back. But they got some players on the back end that are really able to keep pucks out of the net, and it's good. They've been getting, like I said, they've been getting really good throughout the year, and I think that comes with chemistry, getting to know your teammates a little bit more, and being able to realize their tendencies on the ice, what they do with the puck, what they want to do with the puck, what they can do without the puck as well. And I think that's one of the main things about the defense, is being able to keep pucks out of your net and defend against stars on the other teams. So I think their defense has gotten a lot better, and I think they're getting really good as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, and one thing that I notice is they do a pretty good job of clearing away rebounds from in the house area, those high quality areas in the slot and in tight as well. But there's been a lot of times this season, Seth, where Julie Ducharme and River Johnston have looked exceptional for this team. Definitely made this team look a lot better than they maybe are sometimes. If they are having success, it's been because of these goaltenders at times, I feel, given their team confidence to go out there and score goals. Talking about Julie Ducharme and the play of River Johnston as well this season for this Buffalo's U18 program.
Yeah, they've been great. I remember the last game we covered against them, where their exhibition game against the Hawks. I believe it was Nicole Johnston who was in net. She made a quite a I think it was over 45 saves that game. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but man, that's a lot of saves. And if your goalie can make over 45 saves, that's only going to help. Goaltending has been a strong suit for this team, and I think, as you said, I think it's been probably their number one thing on this team is goaltending. And I think with having two goaltenders like Nicole Johnston and Julie Ducharme in net, I think it only helps the team's confidence, and I think it also brings a bit of resiliency to their team as well, being able to have these goaltenders that can really backstop them back into games.
Talking about the special teams for this Buffalo's team, something that I can't really remember about them because we haven't really covered them, Seth.
Yeah.
But talk about their special teams, their power play, starting off with that.
Yeah, I think the power play is one thing. I think they're gonna want to, tweak going into the Christmas break here. They're gonna have time to really rest up and just enjoy the holidays, and that's gonna be good for them. And I think coming out of the holiday season, I think they're definitely gonna need to work on their power play a little bit. Just look to get more pucks to the net, being able to pinch up on the play, keep pucks in the zone, and really just try to move it a little bit better. They've struggled definitely on the power play a little bit. So I think, I think going into this break and really just kind of forgetting about hockey for, just a few days, if that's what it is, really trying to get back on the saddle, enjoy the holidays a little bit, then come back to the saddle, I should say, and really get ready for the second half of the year and really try to, just work on the power play, move pucks around a little bit better, and try to get a few more shots on net.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. Getting more shots on net definitely going to be something that they'll be looking to want to work on, and that just comes down to puck possession as well. Like having good puck possession, maintaining it, not throwing it away. Being more patient with the puck. I think there's some things for sure they'll need to work on. Talking about the penalty kill for this team now, what you've noticed from them this season.
Yeah, I think their penalty kill's been pretty good. I think there's definitely areas for improvements, but I think all teams, even the best teams, have areas you need to improve on. And this penalty kill has been pretty all right for them. Being able to get pucks out of the zone, and I think it lies on them being a more defensive team. I see a lot of these players aren't generating the offense they would like, but I think the defensive play is definitely a lot better than a lot of other teams are expecting when coming to face this Pilot-Mound team. And I think one of their stronger suits has been their penalty kill, and they've been able to get pucks out, and they've been able to limit the pressure that some really good power plays in their league have had. And I think definitely their penalty kill has been one of their strong suits.
Ending off with this for the U18s, the improvements that you think we will see in this team as the season goes along. You've said that you think they need to improve their power play, of course, but is that among the things that you think we will see improve as the season goes along into 2022 for this team, or are you looking at some other things that you think will improve for them?
I think the power play is definitely part of it. I just think it's, offense, generating more offense as a whole, whether you're on the power play or whether you're not, you're just 5-on-5 and you're in the other team's zone. I think just trying to get more pucks to the net and trying to generate more offense, just their offensive play in general, I think they, is one improvement they definitely need to make. And I think is their number one improvement they need to make. But, definitely, I think going into this break will definitely help that, being able to see people, maybe see family members you haven't seen in a while. And I think that'll definitely help being able to, really, I don't know about you, but the holiday season's always, my time to, the time to spend with your family, really, trying to just clear everything going on in your head. And I think, all three of these teams are going to benefit from that. And I think, in order for the, this U18 female team, in order for them to get, the more offense, I think they just need to, be with their family, have some good time, eat some good food, and then come back into the new year raring to go and ready to work on things that you need to improve as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. Always a great time of the year when you get to, relax, spend some good quality time with the fam, and like you said, clear your mind and get ready to get it rolling again in 2022. Of course, Seth, this was this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop with you. Seth Rach here on the show, joining me on this Thursday night on Coffee with Graeme. Seth, until next week when we're going to be actually previewing some games heading into the weekend for the MFHL for the Pembina Valley Hawks. We'll see you then, man. Thanks for on the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Seth Rach joining this week's edition of his segment, Seth's Inside Scoop on Coffee with Graeme on this Thursday evening. And just to clarify for you guys what's going down for the Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy U17 male prep Buffaloes, I did get it right. I was remembering it off the top of my head. I was unable to check Pilot-Mound's website tonight, prior to me doing that interview with Seth that we just did that segment with Seth that I just did, looking at the Buffaloes schedule for this upcoming weekend, the U17s. They'll be in Calgary to take on the International Hockey Academy team twice at Winsport Park Arena in Calgary, Alberta, starting off tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. And then as well as they'll play their second game against International Hockey Academy at 3:15 p.m. on Saturday. And then, of course, as mentioned, the Buffaloes U17 team is also taking on the Edge School twice. They're taking on the Edge on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and then as well as on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And then after that, the U17 Buffaloes are done for the year, as they'll be in action after this week next at Duncan McNeil Arena in Wilcox, Saskatchewan, to play the Notre Dame Hounds U17 team twice in that weekend on January 8th and January 9th. So, just want to clarify something to you guys. You guys saw it in the description, but due to the Pembina Valley Hawks being in Wilcox, Saskatchewan to play in the Mandy Schwartz tournament this weekend in Wilcox, Saskatchewan, we were unable to get any of their players, any of their seniors on the show, or any of their players at all. So that segment will be returning next Friday on Coffee with Graeme, as it'll be a lot of fun to talk about that team's past weekend at the Mandy Schwartz Memorial Tournament in Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Coming up after this next commercial break, we'll not be showing you guys a repeat commercial this time, as I did notice I played the Toby Hockey commercial twice. You'll be seeing a commercial produced by us here at ASTV Productions, to show you guys about our permanent broadcast, what we offer with those. So after that, I'll be back here on the show to end things off here on this Thursday evening on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme, everybody. This is where I'm going to end off tonight's edition of the show. I want to start off by thanking the people who came on tonight's show, the guests, for coming on and joining Coffee with Graeme tonight. And head coach of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars women's hockey team, Tony Bertone, as well as two players from Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy. My apologies. It's been a long night, everybody. Yeah, two players from Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy in U18 female prep goaltender River Johnston and number 12 team captain of the U15 male prep Buffaloes in Beau Murray. I also want to thank my man Seth Rach for coming on and doing his weekly segment here on Thursday nights on Coffee with Graeme on Seth's Inside Scoop to talk about the Buffaloes, all three of Pilot-Mound's programs here in 2021, talking about some good stuff in that segment tonight. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in and taking time out of your Thursday night to watch this edition of Coffee with Graeme. And also a special thanks to the sponsors of tonight's edition of Coffee with Graeme and Evolve Green, Case Financial Group, AETI, Pilot-Mound Hockey-Academy, and Toby Hockey. As mentioned, the Hawks Report will be returning next Thursday. Unable to get that out to you guys in tonight's episode due to them being in Wilcox, Saskatchewan for the Mandy Schwartz Memorial Tournament, as well as going to be getting an interview out for you guys on Tuesday's edition of the show on Tuesday morning with two players from the St. James Junior Canucks. I know I said Tyrone Willen will be joining that show, rookie forward and leading scorer leading point getter on the St. James Junior Canucks in the MMJHL. But I'll also be getting his teammate on the show as well. I guess that's going to return to Coffee with Graeme, as he's joined the show way back when, a very long time ago. And defenseman Brady Whitley, two players from the St. James Junior Canucks that are having amazing seasons so far. And, a big reason of why this team is where they're at right now, 17-1-3 as of tonight in the MMJHL, second place in that league, 1 point behind the Transcona Railers. But yeah, going to be a good one on Tuesday morning. That's when Coffee with Graeme will be coming to you guys next Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. You guys can catch that episode on our Facebook, on ASTV Productions, on our Twitter at Amateur Sports TV, as well as on our website at ASTV Productions. That will be a live show, of course. Stay tuned for who the guests will be in that episode. Not only Tyrone Willen and Brady Whitley will be joining that show, but we're going to have some other guests as well. Of course, Cody Wall on his weekly segment Off the Wall with Cody will be coming on next week and do something a bit different since we have no games on the network this week and to break it down. But yeah, going to be a good one on Tuesday morning. Stay tuned on our social media platforms, on our Instagram at ASTV Productions, on our Facebook, and on our Twitter as well. Sometime on Monday, we'll be releasing who the people will be joining Tuesday morning's edition of Coffee with Graeme. But until then, folks, until I see you next week on Tuesday, I've been your host of Coffee with Graeme, Graeme Forsyth, saluting to you guys now, signing off on this Thursday night. Until next week, when I see you guys next in the morning on Tuesday. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. Stay safe out there. Stay warm out there as well. And have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next time on Tuesday morning on Coffee with Graeme. Peace out, everybody.